she's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve this early.
That's the face. She's the face. She's not moving the needle. She is the needle. She is the needle.
How does one rookie become the reason every major sports show talks about the WNBA daily?
Daran so fasziniert ist, dass Caitlin Clark eine ganz andere Spielerin ist, die viele verschiedene Dinge kann, aber im Grunde genommen bringt sie einen Einfluss wie Steph Curry in die WNBA.
You see, Caitlin Clark hasn't just entered the league, she's flipped it on its head. She's the reason ticket prices surge, headlines follow, and fans from college are now glued to WNBA streams. So when Paul George said on Podcast P that she's the rightful face of the WNBA, it wasn't just flattery, it was a clear signal. But at the same time, he admitted something honest. Some players are offended by how fast all this has happened.
You gotta put it in perspective. Right. These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by that. And there's going to be girls that think she's got to earn it and she doesn't deserve this early. She's handled it great. I think she's performed last year. She's performing again this year.
Here's the deal. Paul George didn't sugarcoat it. He said straight up that some WNBA players feel like Caitlin Clark was handed the face of the league. That's a bold claim, and it makes sense if you followed how hard these women have worked for years without nearly the same spotlight.
She's the rightful face of the NBA, up there with A'ja Wilson, with Nafisa, with still some of the legends, Breanna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, the new up-and-coming rising star, Bunky Paige Beckers.
Paige Becker.
Not only is her game talking, but she's out there talking like she's backing it up.
Come to think of it, George gave voice to what many vets might be thinking. Players like A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart built their legacies from scratch. No hype machine, no NIL deals, just hard work. For Clark to enter and immediately get the biggest brand deals, the loudest cheers, and the most media time, yeah, that can rub people the wrong way.
I love Caitlin Clark's personality, man.
I love her too, man. I think she's great for the game of basketball in general, bro.
George wasn't blaming them, though. He made it clear he gets the emotion behind it. These women grinded, as he put it, to get the league to this point. They carried the WNBA on their backs when no one was watching. So now seeing someone walk in and grab the mic, that hits different. Still, he pushed back on the idea that Clark didn't earn it. He said she's handled it great, especially with all the attention, pressure, and pushback, and she keeps hooping, dropping dimes, pulling up from deep, and taking hits. George described her rise as an instant change to a league that's still evolving. That phrase matters. The WNBA isn't a finished product. It's changing fast. And Clark is just the spark.
It's smelling the coffee. Most people are smelling the coffee and coming to the realization that Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Most people are coming to the realization that she is the best thing since pants with pockets, the best thing since sliced bread. Most people are coming to that realization.
So while it's fair for some players to feel uneasy, Clark's presence is stretching the lens wider. More lights, more fans, more storylines. Her rise doesn't cancel out what came before. It makes it harder to ignore. Anyway, Paul George didn't stop there. He made sure people knew he respects Caitlin's game, like really respects it. That's high praise from a guy who's played against the best in the world. You see, it's one thing to be hyped for making logo threes. It's another to bring edge, confidence, and attitude, especially in a league where that can ruffle feathers. George loves it. He sees that fire as a reason fans are locked in. He didn't flinch when putting her name next to the league's biggest stars. He said Clark deserves to be mentioned with A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Kelsey Plum. And he even threw in Paige Buchers, who hasn't even touched the league yet. That's saying Clark's impact is already on par with elite status.
Wenn du so werfen kannst wie sie oder Steph und du die ganze Zeit in Bewegung bist und herumläufst, kommt es unweigerlich zu einer Überreaktion auf deine Wurffähigkeit. Und das sehen wir die ganze Zeit bei Caitlin, genauso wie man bei Aliyah Boston sieht, wie sie ununterbrochen einfache Körbe aus der Mitteldistanz oder beim Rollen zum Korb erzielt, denn jedes Mal, wenn sie Caitlin blockt, rückt ihre Verteidigerin vor, um Caitlin zu decken. Denn wenn sie aus dem Block herauskommt und du nicht da bist, wird sie werfen und sie wird es schaffen. Und so gibt es eine Reaktion, die den Abstand umkehrt und einen Furonre bringt, weil du mehrere Verteidiger vom Korb wegbringst. Es gibt einen Furonreh mit einem leeren Korb.
And if you're paying attention, that comparison isn't just about talent. It's about marketability, leadership, and how fans respond to you. Clark checks every box, and George sees that clearly. So yeah, he's not jumping on a trend. He's saying she's here to stay, not just hype, not just clicks, a legitimate peer to the best. See, if you ever doubted Clark's competitive mindset, look at what happened against Atlanta. She turned to Ryan Howard, 2022 Rookie of the Year, certified hooper, and told her, "I'm not scared of you." Just like that. No filters, no hesitation. That moment mattered. Because Howard isn't just another name. She's a baller with serious respect in the league. And here's Clark, a rookie, standing 10 toes down. That tells you something deeper than stats. But even if you do look at the numbers, Clark's not just talking, she's producing. 19 points per game, 6 rebounds, and over 9 assists. That's elite across any level. So when Paul George sees that kind of exchange and still says she's backing it up, that means something. Confidence without performance is arrogance. Clark is proving it's not empty noise. It's earned through results. Now, aside from this on-court fire, Clark's off-court energy has been getting attention too.
How are you? Good to see you. You doing well? Can we get a picture? Thank you.
During her quad injury, she was sidelined but still showed up. And when she saw Marina Mabrey courtside, she didn't ice her out. She walked over, smiled, and greeted her warmly. You see, this caught fans by surprise. There'd been chatter online about tension between Clark and Mabrey after some heated moments earlier in the season. But that interaction, it flipped the tone. Suddenly fans were tweeting things like, "I like Marina again," or "She's not a Caitlyn hater after all." It sounds small, but in a league where narratives travel fast, these gestures matter. Even more telling, Clark didn't just greet Mabrey. She stayed with fans, signed autographs, and kept the energy light. No ego, no sulking. That kind of maturity, especially while injured, sends a strong message. She's not just here to ball. She's building relationships, connecting with fans, and staying present even when she's out. Here's where things took a crazy turn. Clark's injury wasn't even major, but the moment she was ruled out of that Fever versus Sky game, ticket prices plummeted over 70%. Paul George saw the numbers and said it plain. That's not just influence. That's leverage. He wasn't being dramatic. He was being real. See, when one player's absence can shake the entire gate, that's rare. That's superstar territory. And George called it like he saw it. She has a bounty on her back. He wasn't talking about dirty plays. He was pointing to the pressure. The media, the fans, the expectations. It's all stacked on her shoulders. And if she goes down, the league feels it instantly.
Ein Finanzprofessor hat den Wert von Caitlin Clark für die WNBA ermittelt. Das ist verrückt. In diesem Jahr, in der letzten Saison in der WNBA, machte Caitlin Clark als Rookie im schlechtesten Team der Liga 26,5% der gesamten Wirtschaftsaktivität aus, als sie dazukam.
This isn't just hype. It's proof that Clark isn't just a rookie on a roster, she's the league's most bankable name.
And I was thinking about this. How many NBA players, and I know Caitlin Clark is an athlete, but she's like beyond that now. She kind of transcends sports. She's like, it's racial, it's political, it's polarizing, it's a lot of things.
Yes.
How many NBA players are more famous than Caitlin Clark? LeBron, Steph, absolutely.
Maybe Durant.
That's what I put. I wrote down KD maybe.
Yeah.
In 1 year, out of women's basketball, for a horrible team when she arrived, outside of LeBron and Steph, she is the most well-known basketball player currently playing in the United States.
So let's zoom out. Even with Clark sidelined, the WNBA is moving. Fever games are shifting to bigger arenas. ESPN viewership up 170%. The league's projected to generate nearly $900 million in 2025. That's real momentum, but there's still tension. When one player becomes the draw, it creates risk. What happens if she's injured again or burned out? The league can't afford to rely on just one person. George's comments bring this into focus. The question isn't whether Clark is valuable. It's whether the league can protect her and build around others. Can they showcase Aja Wilson, Stewart, Reese, Plum, while still letting Clark shine? It's a balancing act. The WNBA needs rivalries, personalities, and stories, not just one hero. And this moment is a stress test. How do you elevate one player without alienating others?
That I thought the most famous basketball player under 30 was Caitlin Clark. And it's, like you said, I don't think it's particularly close. Like she is demonstrably and inarguably more famous than all of this generation's NBA stars. She just is. Like it really, LeBron is, I don't know, probably one of the 20 most famous people in the world. At a secondary level, there is Steph, and at a far different level, there is Durant. And the next basketball person, like active basketball person, is Caitlin Clark.
Clark's emergence is a gift, but only if the league uses it to lift everyone up. Now let's talk about the one name that always follows Clark, Angel Reese. You see, Reese is the other side of the coin. She's vocal, physical, and unapologetic about her place in the league. She's not shy about what it took to get here. She represents the earn your stripes mindset. Her rise wasn't quiet, but it was steady. She sees the grind differently, and she reminds people of it often. So when Clark steps in and becomes the face overnight, some of that friction is inevitable. Not personal, but layered with deeper stuff. Legacy, exposure, respect, and fans notice. Every time Reese and Clark meet, it's a moment. Every clip, every stare down, every press conference, it gets dissected. Not because they hate each other, because their dynamic reveals something bigger. Clark may represent the future, but Reese reminds you who built the foundation. That push and pull, that's what keeps fans watching. So, is Caitlin Clark being targeted or tested? Can the WNBA embrace her rise without letting jealousy or tension derail the growth? And what if this isn't about one player winning over the league, but about creating the kind of league where multiple stars can rise at once? Clark's story is still being written, but every quote from a vet, every stare from a rival, every game she impacts, from the court to the box office, it's all part of something bigger. The WNBA is changing, and she's right in the middle of it. Thanks for watching.